Right there, people. I saw a post that Matt Legg had put up the other day about how he's been struggling financially lately. I've known Matt for quite a lot of years. I've known Matt to earn good money, spend a lot of money, stuff like that. So life does go on this roller coaster of sometimes having what you need and what you want, and sometimes really struggling. You know, and I will say this, a few years ago, when Matt and his partner broke up, she took his sons and moved out. And Matt gave them everything he had. He must have given them 200 grand and a house. You know, he made sure that his family was secure. And then he started his own life from scratch. So when you do that, you're gonna struggle on occasions, you know, but that just shows what the guy's about. He's a good man. He's got good people around him, and you know, no one likes to see anyone struggle, but for a man like that, there'll always be people that help him. But that just shows the character of the man. So, I love Matt for that, man. Yeah, I spoke the other day about some of my training over the years. I've been in and out of various institutions when I was a kid. I used to play rugby for my dad and do BMX and all sorts of things like that. And then my nephew said to me the other day, Greg, I found these 2 boxes in my attic, and it says trophies on them. So he brought them around to me, and they were full of some of my trophies. A lot of them have been lost over the years. But I did win quite a lot of stuff when I was a kid. And here's some of them here. We've got them out. I don't know if you can see that. Big house there. This is my little office. Coming into my office. Yeah. So these are all for different things. I'll sit down here like that. They're mainly BMX trophies. I have scars all over my body from, you know, each one tells its own story, but it's a very tough sport. You'll see on some of them there's like quarter pipes. I used to do freestyle as well. I used to race BMX bikes and do freestyle. I was in a freestyle team. But most of my accidents come from racing. I've had a broken jaw, broken cheekbone, split my kidney, broke my ribs, been in the hospital. Yeah, I did BMX for 3 years, and I was quite good at it naturally because, you know, when you're very active as a kid and lively, you know, and you're a bit mad and all that, like I said the other day, you transfer a lot of your personality into the bike. So you tend to go for things quite a lot, like stunts, and do foolhardy, stupid things, and it gets you injured. You know, but sometimes it works out for you, and you do well at it. Yeah, so these are some of the mementos from my life from back then. Some of them are not for BMX, some of them are for weightlifting. I used to do some powerlifting over the years. This one is quite interesting. Chest trophy. I won this. I've been in various institutions over the years, and 1 or 2 psychiatric institutions, if you can call it that. And this, I was in Grendon for 4 years, and this one, I was always in the chess final, because I've played chess for years. So I was in the final 4 years running, and for 3 of those years I was against the same person who I beat 3 years running. That's why they awarded me the trophy in the end when I left. And I won't mention his name, but he was a serial killer. Very intense guy, very intelligent, you know, and these people work in regimented ways in their thinking. So chess is like working out your opponent. And I can go down to the gymnasium and not sweat at all, do a workout. But when I'm playing chess, you sweat buckets. It's just so bizarre because of the tension that you feel. And he used to look at me from across the board. If I've got him into a position where he's on the defensive, he'd be growling at me like, fuck you. You know, like he wanted to kill me, man, you know, and yeah, it was bizarre. But so that trophy there, it tells a lot of stories. These ones here are rugby medals. That's actually a rugby medal, but it's because these things here come out over the years, so they get stuck back in the wrong places. But this is a rugby medal from 1980. Can you see that? 1980 to 81. Someone's put BMXing in there because these things fall out and get put back in the wrong place. These are all first place medals for Raised Radicals, and these are second place medals. This here was when I qualified for the British Championships, for BMX Championships 1985, and that was my qualification medal as well for the British Championships. These just have a medal from regionals, like I used to win regionals, like the South East regionals and all that. So I got to number 2 in the South East racing. Yeah. Now some of these medals are quite interesting. These are all gold. They're not real gold, unfortunately, but they represent gold medals. I won them in Grendon Prison. They used to do a thing called the Grendon Olympics. And I was just very good at shot put and discus for some reason. I'm about 5'11", but back then I was probably 15 stone. I used to train a lot. And my main opponents in his finals were always these 2 huge guys. One of them, I won't mention one of his name, but the other one's a boxer, an MMA fighter, a super heavyweight called Paul Dancois. Very, very, very powerful guy, much more powerful than me. But I think I had the technique locked down pretty well, you know, so I used to be able to, a lot of it's power, these things, but a lot of it's technique as well. And the screws used to laugh, you know, the prison officers used to laugh because when I used to do the awards, you know, you get the winners and the runners up, they had a podium, and they'd call out the 3rd place, and it'd be this huge 6'6" guy come out, and then the 2nd place, Paul Dancois normally, you know, and he's 6'4", and then they'd call me out for the winner, and these 2 guys would tower over me on the podium. It looked quite funny, and so I won that for 3 years, and then I won that one in the final for something else. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was discus. Yeah. So they have a lot of good memories with these. And I'll say that with the BMX thing, you know, I drifted out of it. A lot of people say to me, "Why didn't you stay with it, Greg? Because you know you had a natural aptitude for it. You're quite talented." You know, I drifted out of it when I was 18 and slid back into getting back in trouble again. Ended up back in prison within a year. You know, but BMX and stuff like that, it's like a family event, a team event. You know, and when a kid has got his parents there as well. You do a lot of things for your parents, you know. I used to bring these trophies home to please my parents, really, try and please my family, and that, you know. But if your family's disintegrating around you, you know, I mean, my mum and dad broke up when I was 13, but you know, if it's not really right at home, then it all gets forgotten, pushed to the side, and that takes a lot of your heart out of it, you know. And I would say that for any families that have got children involved in sports, you know, stand behind them, encourage them, yeah, because 50% of their achievements is based on their family support. You know, I'll definitely say that. So, yeah, you know, because young people now are getting involved in boxing, BMX has come back into fashion again. I'll say encourage your kids into sport, you know, because there's so many things that can distract them away from sport and away from school and doing the right thing. There's so many things now on the internet, and you know, I speak to kids that are involved in gangs, you know, and try to steer them away from that life. So I was in a gang myself when I was young, and it always ends in tears. So yeah, so this is a lovely little memory, you know, this brought back a lot of good little memories for me. And yeah, I hope it was interesting for you.